Peace, family. Hope all is well. Today we're going to talk about a consumer, winning a debt collections lawsuit. I'll be playing the judge, attorney, as well as the defendant who's being sued. Now, family, once you've been served, now it's time for preparation. Let's get into the preparation before we go into the scenario, All right, family, let's talk about the lawsuit here, Now, the collection agency files a lawsuit against us in small claims court, alleging that we owe $3,500, Now, as you can see earlier, we were served with a complaint. Now, instead of panicking, let's carefully review the documents and notices, to the following. Now, first, the collection agency has not provided any validation of the debt, We have not received any documentation proving that the collection company has a right to collect the debt. Now, let's recall receiving several harassing calls from this collection agency, some of which involve threats and false statements. And lastly, the collection company pulled our credit report multiple times without providing a legitimate reason. Let's continue. All right, family, now our preparation. And it says John here for John Doe, Now, first, we request validation. So we'll send the collection company a debt validation letter, under the FDCPA section 809, requesting, proof of the original debt, evidence that the collection company has the right to collect the debt, and details about the original creditor in itemized amounts. If you do, join our Patreon for free. I have a debt validation template available to you guys absolutely free. All right, let's continue to our next slide. All right, and secondly, family, let's go through the documents of harassment, John keeps a log of the harassing calls, including dates and times, and the content of the conversation, We save voicemails and notes in instances where the collection company threatened with legal action or used offensive language, Thirdly, they pulled our credit report, Now, they have done this 3 times without providing any notice or valid reason, a potential violation of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. All right, and fourth here, let's research the FDCPA and the FCRA, We learn about the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act in Section 807, which prohibits false or misleading representations, and in Section 805, which restricts harassment and improper communication. We've also studied the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the FCRA, rules regarding permissible purpose for accessing a credit report. Story time, family. Let's use our understanding of debt validation and privacy protections to successfully defend ourselves in court. Mind you, family, the collection company has not provided us any validation of the debt. We also have not received any documentation proving that they have the right to collect the debt. We've also been receiving several harassing calls from this debt collection company, some of which involve threats and false statements. And finally, they've pulled our credit report multiple times without providing a legitimate reason. Let's get into it. Mr. Brown, XYZ Collections has brought a claim against you for $3,500. How do you respond? Your Honor, I dispute this debt in its entirety. XYZ Collections has not provided sufficient evidence to prove that I owe this debt, nor that they have any legal right to collect it. Furthermore, they have violated my rights under the FDCPA and the FCRA. Under Section 809 of the FDCPA, I requested validation of this debt from XYZ Collections. They failed to provide proof of the original debt, the original creditor, or evidence that they are authorized to collect it. Without this validation, their lawsuit is baseless. XYZ Collections, did you respond to the defendant's validation request? Well, Your Honor, we sent a general statement of the debt amount. Your Honor, that statement does not meet the legal requirements for debt validation under the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act, FDCPA. Also, Your Honor, XYZ Collections violated my privacy in multiple ways. They pulled my credit report 3 times without providing a permissible purpose under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Second, They made repeated harassing calls, including threats of legal action they had no intention of pursuing. Thirdly, they disclosed details of my alleged debt to a third party, violating the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act under Section 805. XYZ Collections, do you have documentation to refute these claims? We do not, Your Honor. Under FDCPA Section 807, XYZ Collections use deceptive practices, including claiming I could face criminal charges for not paying. Debt collection is a civil matter, and such threats are unlawful. XYZ Collections, can you confirm these threats were not made? We cannot confirm or deny, Your Honor. All right, family, after hearing both sides, it's time for the judge to deliver his verdict. Mr. Brown, I find your arguments compelling. XYZ Collection has failed to validate the debt and has violated multiple provisions of the FDCPA and the FCRA. Their claim is dismissed with prejudice. I am awarding you statutory damages of $1,000 for their violation, plus court cost. Thank you, Your Honor. All right, family, there you have it. All right, family. Now, okay, it's important that you know your rights with this, okay? Understanding the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act, okay, and the Fair Credit Reporting Act is going to allow you to identify challenges, okay, and violations. And document everything, okay? Logs, recordings, and written requests can make or break a case, family. All right, and demand validation. Debt collectors must prove the debt is valid and that they have the right to collect it, okay? They have to prove that, family, and most of the time they cannot because they do not. All right, now challenge privacy violations as well. Unauthorized credit report access and third-party disclosures are serious breaches of privacy. I wanted to bring this scenario to you guys, okay, to highlight the importance of debt validation and privacy protections, okay? By knowing our rights and documenting violations, we can successfully defend ourselves against baseless lawsuits, okay? And, all right, we can hold the debt collector accountable for those actions. Now, we as consumers throughout this process can use these same principles to protect ourselves and achieve these outcomes, okay? These victories in court. And don't forget, family, all right, this is available on Patreon for free, our debt validation template, as well, okay, as these presentations. You'll be able to read through these presentations so that you can get more familiar with this, get more comfortable with this, knowing that you have the authority, the power, and you can build your competency in fighting these debt collectors and removing these things off of your credit report, family. Now, before we close, I'm going to go ahead and put this disclaimer out there. I wanted to give you the main course first, all right? This is not financial advice. This is not legal advice. If you're seeking financial or legal advice, I highly encourage you to seek legal or financial counsel immediately. Now, all in all, family, I hope this helps. And I love you guys. Peace.